The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of Colorful Voices of Sisterhood are their own and do not represent Lamar Media Versatility, that of any broadcast networks utilized, its advertisers, or sponsors. All content is subject to copyright and may not be reproduced in any form without prior written consent by Lamar Media Versatility. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests of Colorful Voices of Sisterhood are for general public information and entertainment purposes only.
Welcome back to Colorful Voices of Sisterhood. I know you guys missed me and Agnes. It's been a while since we've been on the show, but it's good to be back with the beautiful Fetihya and Miss Diana. Today we have a great show. We're going to talk about fatherhood. All of us, everybody obviously has a father, right? But really just the first man in our lives, you know, the first man who made a difference, who inspired us. There's so much we could say about fathers. So I'm excited to learn about your guys' father.
Awesome. The first dance.
Your first dance, yes. Mine was like a little waltz step he taught me. Yeah, my dad was really big into Hank Williams Jr. or Hank Williams, the senior one. Patsy Cline. So we listened to that type of music and got to waltz around the house too.
That's neat. My father loved to watch the show. How do you say that? The Walk.
The Waltons?
The Walk, something like that, yeah.
Like John Boy. Good night. What they say? Good night, John Boy.
It's actually the musical. Lawrence Welk Show, something like that.
Oh, okay. The Lawrence Welk Show used to come on Sundays.
Yes. That's one of his favorite, yeah.
Yeah, my dad.
It's amazing how you can remember the childhood stuff that you did when you was growing up. We parents did, because we grew up, we didn't have cable. We had to go outdoors and turn the antenna, stay right there, and, to watch it.
Oh,
but the different things that you will watch, because I remember the Adams Family was one of my favorite that we used to watch.
Yes.
But me and my dad, favorite thing was Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, yeah.
And I still like that show of Unsolved Mystery, always trying to figure out the crime for it.
Yeah, my
Because back in the day, there was a lot of killing going on here,
gosh,
so there was a lot of unsolved crime that we were trying to figure out.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite.
Yeah. Jeff loves that show too.
Does he?
Oh yeah.
Well, we can watch it
just last night we were watching.
Yeah. But definitely put in the comments what's one of your favorite memories that you had of you and your father. I know one of mine was my father was really a stay-at-home dad, but he used to make us egg sandwiches before we went off to school every morning. And like today, you just can't find someone who makes egg sandwiches like that. So I don't know if it was just a taste or because he made it, it tasted different. I don't know, but
so your father was home more than your mother, growing up.
Yes. So my mother, my dad only had his 6th grade education, so it was really hard for him to get a job. So he did work like odds and end jobs, but he wasn't like he didn't have a specific skill or anything like that. He actually had a terrible time in school because he was left-handed. And then back then, they didn't believe a kid could be left-handed, so he got hit all the time to make him right-handed. So he had a really bad experience in school just for that reason alone. So he only made it up to the 6th grade.
Is anyone else in your family left-handed?
No.
Wow.
Usually they say left-handers, they're very smart.
My daughter's funny. She's left-handed. She's the only one in our immediate family that's left-handed.
Yeah. But when you said he's smart, he was very smart, but he just didn't have the education.
Wow.
We'd watch Wheel of Fortune when it first moved to the evening. We used to do that, and then of course Jeopardy.
Similar to your dad, my dad was my mom, she always traveled, so my favorite was he used to do our hair and wash clothes for us and prepare breakfast. Even when my mom, she get home, and he's the one do all the cleaning. And she was, they were opposite. What man is supposed to do, my mom, she was doing. My dad, he was braiding my sisters, and washing us. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Just like you also, while we were growing up, we don't have any television, we don't have any power. Once we had that, of course, we bought a TV, and his favorite show also is The Night Rider.
What David Hasselhoff?
Oh yeah, car, come get you. Come get me, kid.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he does that. But,
That is going back.
But my father, he is very strict. Actually, he's very strict. He's a military man. He's a soldier also.
Oh,
And he's very disciplinarian. I mean, if you do something wrong, he beat you up. But it's for he loves us. I mean, way back then, he really.
He was the disciplinary.
Yeah.
Where it was the opposite in my family. My mother was the disciplinary, and my dad, I don't ever remember getting a spanking from my dad at all.
I never got anything from my mom.
Oh,
well.
yeah. Yeah, my mom is the one I died because you don't know what was coming at you. At least with your dad, I'd expect like a spanking or something. I don't know. There'd be a shoe flying. There'd be something. Yeah. But my dad was, he was the comedian. Like everywhere he went, people smiled because he'd laugh. I mean, he probably don't even mean to it, but just by the way he would react or say something, it was just hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah, opposite for me, my mom, she was the one that, she
The
used to get us.
disciplinary.
Yes, my daddy was very serious. He does not believe putting hands on, but he used to get my brother, my oldest brother, he used to get in trouble all the time. And I experienced one time, like he said, you know what, you got to go. You're just giving everybody a hard time. That's the time that I really saw my dad angry. And my mom, she's, oh my God, opposite. She used to do this. She grab you between your legs, especially me. She used to punch me. Oh yeah, pinch.
Did you?
Oh my God.
Especially that very
you see?
thin skin.
The skin, like she just used to grab the skin, like just give me, get one. But my dad, he never touched me. One time I got scammed by thief. She told me that, can I get your earrings and go buy me tea, and I don't want nobody to take. Then I went, by the time I come back, the lady, she left. She got my earrings. And then I went home. My daddy just picked me up and just threw me in the bed. I thought it was kind of funny. I just bounced back and forth. That's the only day he was kind of upset with me because my earrings.
Probably more so, not so much that your earrings were taken, but because you were taken by somebody. Yeah.
Lessons that you learn. Both of my parents my dad was very conversational, but we was raised in a strict home with both parents. Like your mom, my mom will hit me with anything. I still think that's why I got mental issues today. But my daddy was very firm, but the whole community loved my daddy, John Earl King. He was straightforward. He said what he meant what he said, and he stood on it. And he was an honest man. And I think I got a lot of that from him. I got a lot of ways from both of them. I could see myself in both of them. But he was very firm, but he's always been a faith-based man. And it's funny how sometimes some of the family will say stuff. I says, my daddy would let people come to the house. And he was a deacon of the church. And if they drink, they could drink out by the barn. But because he would always say, at least I know where they are. But they was always so well respected of him that they never, use a whole lot of profanity. As growing up, we couldn't use profanity. Because he says, better words. A person that used that just don't want to take time to learn different words. But he died, June is always a tough month for me because he died in June 19th. And I never forget the day before he died, he wanted a cookout that Sunday. God, he about drove us crazy to have this cookout. And I said to him, who did you invite? He said, oh, just a few people. Well, he kept calling to the church for us to come on. We get down there, the yard was full. And I said to my husband, oh my gosh, we don't got enough food. all these people that he invited. But if you would have seen, it was a sea of beauty. It was black, white, all cultures there. And then 2 days after that, he died. And I always say, he used to say, I'll see my funeral before I die. And he got a chance to see the love of people. And that instilled in us today, just to love people where they are. And he says, be straightforward. If this is how you feel, this is how you feel.
Yeah.
But people still come up and say, I remember this that your dad did. A young boy stole a bicycle. And my daddy knew he stole that bicycle. He made him take that bicycle back. And he disciplined, but he turned around and brought him a bicycle.
Good.
So that was, a community thing that he would do. That's the type of person that he was, very active in the community.
Yeah.
Singing gospel groups forever.
Yeah.
So much similarity to my dad. Very strict, loving. If there's an away is fight in my village or barrio. And they always call him to resolve this. And
Oh, wow.
he would be the first person that they would call.
Yeah.
Definitely well respected in your guys' communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even though he's gone now, people still say, "Are you John Earl King's daughter?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." First I had no identity because I was either Tommy Barnes' wife or John Earl King's daughter. I'm like, I got a mama too, and then I have my own identity.
Yeah.
So you kind of fight that for a while,
like that.
but then as you get older, you appreciate that they still can remember the
Oh,
love.
yeah.
When he died, I was holding his hand in the hospital, and the hospital was full with family and friends. When he took his last breath, we were standing right there.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Think about that. You
I
appreciate
know
that.
my dad, crazy story about my dad. So second grade is when I wanted to join the Marine Corps. I knew right then. Second grade. That is where I wanted to be a Marine. And, when you're that age, it's cute. Your dad would tell all his friends, oh, she's going to grow up, she's going to be a Marine, this and that. Then get to high school. I kind of went back and forth. I want to be a doctor. I want to be this and that. But I still ended up being a Marine. And the Marine recruiter came to my house 3 times. And I was only 17, so I had to have permission from my mom and my dad. My dad would not sign those papers. You got to remember, he has 7 daughters. I was the second to the youngest, and the only one that went into the service. So he was not signing it. My mom finally took him in the kitchen, had some words, and he came out and signed it. But I say that because, when I went off to boot camp, gone for 3 months, and I came back for a boot leave, and it was during the Christmas time frame, and he passed on that Christmas Eve.
Wow.
So he really didn't get to see me, in adulthood. He didn't see my children. He didn't see, how that I stayed in the Marine Corps 26 and a half years and made it a career. So I know he's watching and he knows it, but I wish he was here to share it with me, because he was so worried about me going into the military that he just didn't get to see that I actually stayed 26 years in it. So, but Christmas Eve's always been a hard time for me after he passed. But now I make Christmas Eve, an important day for the family to get
celebrate.
Together.
Nice.
We always find ways to celebrate the love and the memories of it in a positive way, more than, just kind of crying, because I never forget him telling me when he was sick. He said, you can't be mad with God for taking back something that belonged to him. And that was my peace even today to know that he belonged, he's going back.
He's going back.
Because we actually just borrowed our life.
Yeah. So that's there on.
You mentioned about passing. So you know what my dad told me before he left from the USA? Because he wanted to go home. He wanted to die over there. He doesn't want to pass away here. But this is what he told me, yes. Agnes, if I die in the Philippines and you are here, there's no reason for you to go home. Why are you going home? I'm dead anyway. I'm like, come on, Dad. I still want to come and see you. Yeah, he's very understanding. I don't know why he will say something like that. But to us, it's very sentimental.
Yeah. But, in that aspect, I could see where he's coming from on that one. To me, I'd rather see somebody before they pass, and then have to travel all the way across the world, and then to bury them.
Because really, you're just going back to just be with family and friends because the dead don't know anything. Well, you've done everything everything you could while they was living.
Well, we as Asian or Filipinos, if someone passed, at least we have them like 1 week or 2 weeks.
To bury
like
them?
Inside our house, like in the living room, just to visit. Here comes relatives.
Yeah,
but I think
It's a lot of
nowadays,
cultures like that. My culture too for months actually.
really,
They keep your body out for a month or so?
No, just the people. It just let the people. No, 24 hours you have to go. In my culture, if you die, and few hours later they're gonna bury you, which is
wow.
yes, few hours later. Actually, few people wake up after when they bury them. In Islam,
and then
in Islam, when you die, they don't put you in a coffin. They wrap with you white sheet. And my dad, who was kind of person that go under and dig and lay down and look the body. Actually, when our neighbor died, his mother, she only have him, and she called the community to come bury him. And they washed him. 2 hours later, they took him to, I don't want to lie, cemetery. But the moment they put him down, he wake up. What? He wasn't dead. So this is the funny part. No, it happened in my court. I say, we used to talk about it. No, seriously.
They probably should have been a few hours.
No,
maybe a few days.
Maybe a few days.
It was my brother's best friend. So the first person he saw was my brother when he wake up.
Oh really? Oh my! This is true.
I swear it's true. And we were as women. We don't go to cemetery. We stay home cooking, cleaning, making tea.
But wait, don't if someone passed, they have to put some like how do you say?
Okay, it's like Nomi. When you die in Islam, they wrap you around with
like a mummy.
Right?
Like a mummy.
That's how they wrap you. So he was fighting to get up. Everybody left him there. He ended up getting up. It's true, I swear. He ended up come out no clothes. So all the community elder people, they were sitting on the floor. We don't have chair, we were sitting, and the little kid were making tea. So they saw the man running. Listen, they saw the man running. The man that took the body. Every people like, what are they running to? They try to get up. They cannot get up. Some of them, the elder. Then they saw the guy that was supposed to be dead and underground. He was running after the naked. I swear it's true. So people, they were like, they cannot get up. They start rolling over to get up.
Oh my goodness.
That's what he did. He went this way. He passed everybody and cursing. He put his clothes on. He got knife, like this knife. And no, really, he started grabbing rock. So he went, everybody can recognize their face. He started saying, come out. You guys trying to bury me when I'm alive? Wait. After 1 week later, this is true, I swear. After 1 week later, he died. This is for real.
Oh my God.
Nobody came to bury him.
Oh my gosh, Fetihya.
So his mom, she was an older lady. She told everybody, community, she went to the temple to say, hey, and he died. His name is Lihlire. Lihlire means that sixth sense. That's his nickname. He said, he died. They said, we're not coming, I'm sorry. He has to sit there for no, for a few days.
Sad though. I mean, he finally passed and then no one came.
So in our country, we don't have what you guys have. You have to take it to the doctor, figure it out, take the blood out. So guess what? His body just boom. No, his whole body.
Bloated.
Yeah. So who's going to pick him up?
Oh my goodness.
It's true story.
I would have been running.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I would have been like,
It
Dad,
happened all the time. All the time in our community.
Oh my goodness.
But Christian, the other side, they wait
Right.
a few days. First of all, they have to pay somebody to come make you cry. So kind of like it takes time process. With Islam, you die, you got to go. Yeah, come on. You got to go.
That was really funny.
Oh my
That was
God.
really
I
funny.
have a lot of story, but that's for he told me that we should go.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't. Yeah, they shouldn't.
Oh
wait a
my
few
So
hours.
my dad, who was one of those, he wash bodies. Sometimes when he wash them, they wake up.
He prepares them.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh.
So is your father still alive, Fetihya?
No, my father died 2010. I
Oh,
was
2010.
here. That was the. It's just
Yeah.
I couldn't go. I didn't have my documentation to travel.
Oh.
He died 2010. So my dad, he was a healer. So when people get sick, the first person they come to in our community, it was him. When you were speaking about your dad, I was just kind of quiet. Kind of, we do have similarity when he comes to
Yeah.
fathers, and he was that. He was the leader of prayers in the community. When kids sick, he's the one goes to pray on children, and he was like you say, yeah. He said, if you say something that you're gonna leave impact on people. No, really, like if you think about even that is not something nice, don't let it out.
Oh yeah.
So that's how my dad was, and it's amazing because I was listening to you guys. I'm like, oh, he's not, he's not the only one. They were people. He has that impact on me. When I speak, I want to speak something that is necessary, or is something that is going to inspire people or encourage people and empower. So I got that from my dad.
Yeah.
Ain't it amazing though? The older you get, you find different traits from your parents. Even growing up, like I ain't gonna be like that. But I found myself with kids doing a lot of the same similarity with them.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, when I was a little, when I was a little also, high school or elementary. Yeah. Sometimes you're thinking, why does he beat me that much? I mean, they love us. He loves us.
Yeah.
It just he's very strict and
Yeah.
disciplinarian, but
How many
we grew up
siblings?
though. We grew up okay.
Yeah.
Because we know that what he did is purely
From
Not a love. Not
I think the American kind of for immigrant kind of mess us up. Like, didn't even our parents love us because the way here they raise their children? Back home, it just for a lot of immigrants, it's natural for parents to give good whipping, and the neighbor give you good whipping, and the school give you good whipping. But here, I question myself, since my family really abused me, especially my mom. So compared to when you compare the life we have there and here, that's when you start question. But it just is natural back home. And
But my dad was spanking the neighborhood kids. He if they came to John Earl King house and acted up, they can get a spanking. He didn't care what color you was. You respected. That's just how he was. He was spanking you, and everybody just loved him.
Yeah. And that's how I was growing up. I mean, my aunts will swat me just as fast as my mom would.
it's more love. You would not what they were doing. I think it was from love. It was not from hate.
Right.
It's from love, saying you're gonna get it. If it's not, life is gonna whoop you. Life does not care about you.
Right.
See,
So-
you know what? I think that's what's lacking.
So much.
Nowadays. A lot of kids here needs to be whooping.
But you can't.
Bring it back.
You do like this, then
I
the
see a couple at
911.
Walmart.
Children that acting up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
At such a young age, though.
I tell my son, my little one, I say, God, this is America. I'm not gonna go behind the bar because of you, but we're gonna get it right, Amir? So yeah.
Well, I think there's such a misconception of whether you can spank your child or not. It's just you ain't gonna abuse them, but you can definitely chastise them.
I agree.
You know, I tell people all the time, the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Train a child up in the way it should go. You know, because if you don't do it, the system gonna do it. And my dad used to say that all the time. If I don't do it, the system gonna do it, and it's not gonna be nice.
Yes.
Teachers there, if you're being rowdy or not nice, I mean, they would call you in the front and have the teacher do this for you. Do that for
Remember, I had
10
to hold them
minutes.
boots?
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
We should bring those
That
back.
was torture, though, but.
Yeah, I mean,
Made
at
you
least
stronger, though.
they have to learn the consequences. Like you say, the system, it will teach. And when they do, it's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
You know, I truly believe, like, going to jail.
I've learned so much from my dad. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. one thing that I've learned from him also is he doesn't want us to be walking with, you know, with a guy in the street. He would tell us, hey, if he really likes you, you know, he can come to our house.
Oh my gosh.
That's opposite.
Oh my
he
goodness.
He can come
Yeah.
to our house and just, you know, talk there in the living room. But sometimes parents are there to like roaming around, you know, make sure. But yeah.
Growing up,
You
he
cannot-
better not come to the house and toot the horn.
yeah,
He
me
better
too.
come in that
Oh,
house
better
and
come to
give
the
me-
door.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
and I had a certain time to be home.
Yes.
And you know, he come out and he was straightforward with it. This
Yes.
is how it's gonna be.
Oh, my
Today,
culture
you know.
is different. You cannot be. They used to tell us where men sit. If he get up, if you sit there, you're gonna get pregnant. No.
They told you that?
Yeah. If men sit in the
Your
chair,
words and Bill's conversation was funny, wasn't
so
it?
you're talking about bringing men and boy to the house. If men sit in the chair and leave, and you go sit there, you're gonna get pregnant.
Yeah.
So you better not even get close.
Why?
It just that's
Yeah,
how.
culture.
Guess what? This is what men do. If they like you, they
don't
wait
see
6
it.
o'clock. We're not supposed to go out after 6 o'clock. That's how I grow up. We're not supposed to.
You have a curfew.
Then, yeah, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. If that boy likes you, he's gonna kidnap you.
Opposites.
Yeah, he's gonna kidnap you. Then he's gonna keep you. If he did something to you, the family they don't want you.
Wow.
If they're gonna say just keep her there and get married. Yeah, it's true. So because of those reasons, it makes more harder for boy to date if even 16, 17, 18. So a lot of this happen. And boys that like girl, they kidnap her. Maybe they're not even kidnapped. They like each other. They just disappear together.
Wow.
Yep. So yeah, no boys in
my
the
dad
house.
would not appreciate that.
Not at all.
No boys in the house. No talking to boys at all. Are you talking about holding, coming to the house, invite them?
No.
You will be big.
Oh,
Wow.
really? Yeah.
Well, growing up, I couldn't date until I was 16. I was 16 years old before I could
Well,
date.
good for you
Yeah,
guys.
you know, and you dated in the house. You just wasn't going everywhere. And he had, even my husband, he had asked permission when we even went to the store. Is it okay? You know.
Yeah.
But it's funny how I treasure me and my mother are really close. But I treasure stuff that my daddy told me to look for in a man. You know, my daddy was the one that told me when you go out to be dressed, don't go out with no them what's them do-rags and stuff people put on their hair. Don't go out looking any kind of way. Fix yourself up presentable. But he was the one that's the man that told me. So he's instilled a lot of stuff in me today that I even tell my girls and stuff. And I respected his opinion when I got married to my husband. Every boyfriend what you think? He ain't like him, I didn't like him.
You guys,
Yeah, they know. They got that
they had
sense.
that intuition.
you know that I never had any boyfriend. I mean, I have a lot of daughters because my parents always tells us that work hard, study hard. Boyfriend can wait, but education is. I mean, you can do it. I guess any age you want to be, but yeah, they want us to have the education because they never got an education.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
So it's important to them. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So when were you allowed to date then, or how?
After college, but still,
Okay.
I wasn't able to do that because I already came here.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And he always tells that making mistakes is okay, but it doesn't mean they don't define you.
Right, get back up.
Yeah.
Try again.
Yes, right.
One-
If you ever,
Wow.
One thing you said, Diana, not only mothers have impact on daughters, fathers is very important and that impact because that's what you should look in men. And I'm glad you say that because a lot of people they think that the mother only she can teach you to be a wife and all that, but man is the most important for girl, father. And when my dad and my mom were separate, I was broken. Like, oh my, yeah. After that, actually, my life would never be the same.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And really,
And I think it is important. We got a lot of families that are single parent homes, and I think children miss out on seeing what a loving couple is supposed to be, or the sacrifices they got to make together, the compromise they have to make. So I think it really makes it difficult when they go into a relationship to know what to expect.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was fortunate enough that my mom and dad was together, and I was able to see their difficulties, and their struggles, and that they still worked it through, and then in the end that they loved each other. My dad passed, like I said, when I was 18, and my mother hasn't been with nobody since.
Yeah.
And she still talks about my dad.
Wow.
The same my mom. I think older people, they used to do that. A lot of them, especially for a woman, they don't remarry again. My mom, she never remarried, but my dad did. And I never see my dad and my mom argue. We only had one bedroom. They have 14 children.
Let me drink some on that.
So,
We have 1, 2, 3.
we only had one bedroom. Our bedroom, it was everything. Our entertainment room, our dining room, our everything. I swear. And one time, my mom, she was asleep. My dad came 4 o'clock or 3 a.m. from prayers. And the temple is not too far from us. It's across the street. So I don't know what my mom did. He just wake her up. We can hear him waking her up. Our kitchen is in the backyard. So they went out. So we have a lot of mouse, So I guess the mouse kind of break the fight. They remain inside the house. That's the only day. I told my sister, I don't know, Mom and Dad, I was little, 7, 8. I was like, I don't know, Mom and Dad, what they were doing. They were in the backyard, but I can hear them.
They're making babies.
I don't know, maybe they're
You thought it was a fight at 7. Like number 15.
Then I guess the mouse said, you guys got to go. This is our area.
Speaking about house, I accidentally burned our big house.
Really?
Yeah, and then we moved. Then we had
How old was
3
you?
or 4, about 6, 7.
Oh my
Yeah.
What you do?
Because my grandfather, he's about to bring the carabao or cow
Okay.
to from the farm, and he could not see the stick where he's going to tie the rope. And so I went and get a light. What do you call that?
The lantern.
Yeah, lantern.
Yeah, that's
And
what
then
we have
I went
back
like
home too.
this, okay? And then he said, higher. And so I went like, and then the straw.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what we used to back home.
Wow,
We don't have a
yeah.
How did you handle that? Did you have to hold on to guilt, or you felt?
Well, I thought I'm gonna get beat up, but no.
You was worried about that being.
Actually, my mom said, well, I guess it's a good thing that I burnt our house, because it has been several days that she has a dream that because I have been asking them, hey, I want to go, take a bath. I want to go to the river, and I have always been asked so many days past. She said, I guess if I have gone, I might get drowned, or sometimes the dream is
Yeah, they take
Wow.
it very serious, dream. Like some culture,
Yeah, same
like my
here.
culture
Native
too.
American, definitely.
That's how they believe the divine is speaking to you and guiding you. So my country, they speak about crazy stuff. If you dream about wearing white clothes, is you deaf? I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
If
there's
they
so many
see-
ways to interpret dreams. Yeah. But some days, I wake up and I know, like, I can't remember my dream, but I know it was impacting me in some way. So
Yeah.
rest of the day, I'm like paranoid, looking out for signs and stuff.
But then sometimes it be deja vu, because you be like,
I've been here.
I've
I've been here.
experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can experience that too.
Yeah.
I was dreaming one time that I've been to that place,
Yeah.
and I can't remember where.
Yeah.
It's very
when? Yeah.
important. I pay attention to my dreams. Sometimes, like when I don't remember, let me go back. Can you come back? I'm like, can I come back, please? Yesterday, I dream about something and I wake up. It's gone. I was so upset. The dream was good, but I
Can't
I
remember it.
I'm like, I said, let me go back.
Can't remember not one
I don't.
detail of it.
No, I've been trying to think about all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I was all day. What was this? No, you swear or no. It was not that. I said, then forget it. I'm like,
So
Yeah.
my mom is a businesswoman too. So the number one crop in my place is tobacco.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So every time she would leave and sell all these tobaccos, of course, we always with my dad. And so when I was 6 years old, I already know how to cook rice, fried eggs. He taught us. Yeah. There's 11 children, you know, he would assign.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
That's great, really.
Wow, so you guys came from really big family. I thought my family was big.
So my dad's side and my mom's
How
side
many?
had
I got
a
6
lot.
sisters.
6. Oh my.
No boys?
He's got one son from earlier. He's the oldest, but he didn't grow up with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came from big family. My dad, they have 15 children. My dad has 15 brothers and sisters, and his dad has the same. My mom, father had 5 wives, and he had 25 children. So we like really big family.
Yeah.
Drink on that one.
Oh, wow. We need to add something to my team.
Anybody need to add something to this?
Yeah, we
My
came
goodness.
from big family.
Do you know all of them, or do you guys get together once a
When
year?
we do, when it's wedding, when somebody died, I'm like, where are you? No, really, like, so my dad family, both my parents came from very wealthy family. But my dad, and he didn't follow what his parents want for him. It was someone to marry, the same culture, the same religion, everything. He didn't do it. So he was just got divorced from that. He didn't follow through. And my mom, the same thing. She came from her dad, you know, has all this rich man and has multiple wives and multiple children. Then she didn't follow through that. Then she left the religion. She was Christian, convert. So it's just, they divorced her. So now it's my mom and my dad that came from family that both divorced them. They're trying to make things happen for
Was
them.
that because they found each other,
They-
fell in
yes,
love,
they-
and then their
yes.
families?
No,
They
after
didn't.
that, my dad had run away. So I'm kind of when I trace back, and my mom she run away too. And then when my dad graduated high school, they want him to go to college, but they did engagement. They do arrangement engagement.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So my dad he did not want to marry her, so he escaped. And my mom she escaped before that when she was 14 from her parents. So she came to the city that I was born, and she was working as sewing clothes in a factory. Then that's how she met my dad. And you saw the picture that I sent you guys. That's when they met. Then, you know, my mom she was. You would consider an American drug dealer, but it's not drug dealer. It's something that's big. Have you heard that? Since you travel, cat. They call cat.
No, I
And
haven't.
back home is the
Stray cat.
yeah, as they call cat is like you would consider weed in here is illegal, but in back home in Somalia, Yemen, Ethiopia, that's the way it makes money. That's the big income. So that's
So
what my mom
guys
used
over
to do
there-
that.
They can still marry a lot of.
I mean,
You're still practicing.
some of them they do, but if you go back, trace back to even Abraham time, he has a wife and David and Solomon. So, yeah. So I don't know how when somebody died in our family or worrying, I see those rich people, family, cousins, first cousin. I'm like, what are you guys? No, seriously, I used to ask.
But
like,
that's
"You
a
are my
big
cousin?"
family.
Like, I don't know. We live in this kind of life. You guys have all this car and, you know, wearing one flip-flops. I swear, like, I used to say, you guys my first cousin? I used to look at them,
Wow.
the way they dress and stuff. I'm here and with flip-flops in my hair and pony, you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, that's same with me. My sisters have a lot of kids. You know, one of them we tease her all the time. She's got her own football team, but I can't remember their names. So my baby sister, she remembers everybody. She knows kids. I graduated high school with that. I don't even remember. But yeah, so she'll have to when I'm home. I'm like, okay, so which one's that one? She goes, that's Roundhouse. Oh yeah. What about that one? You know, because there's just so many of them,
Yes.
and you know, I just have my small little group.
Have them put on some name tags.
I know it.
You are the child of, you know.
I'm child number 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wow.
I used to get like when my grandma died, and they came. My mother, she died in our house. So all her sister and brothers came, And I say, oh my God, I was bragging, taking them in my neighborhood. Oh, this is my cousin. Because we didn't have that. We didn't have that. Like, because my dad, again, they told him that if you don't follow what we want for you, you're done. All his brothers, they were engineering, like really, like rich, have everything. But they used to help us. They used to give us only money when we need for holidays. That's when they used to buy us clothes.
So I have a question to you guys. Have you seen your dad cry?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I never.
What reason?
Yeah. You know, I can't even remember. There's multiple times that I've seen him cry. My dad was like an emotional person. I mean, I think maybe that's why he joked and stuff so much. I think because of that reason. But there's just times where would be talking, or we talk about someone who's passed. I think that was really the big thing. I know his older sister passed. He was just talking about stories about them when they were younger. So I think that was like really emotional for him. So I did see him on several occasions cry. But it wasn't like crying like,
like we put him down.
I got an ugly face cry, it wasn't like that. But he did have like tears.
I've seen him in tears, not cry, but in tears. Because, we're all 11 children. I think I was probably 8 or 9 then. Because in the Philippines, I guess rice is life, right? So we don't. I guess we don't have anything. But looking back now, so he feed us yams instead of rice. Yeah.
They have
instead of rice and some chicken, I guess. Yeah, I saw him cry because
he felt like he wasn't providing.
Yes.
Oh,
but look at right now, it's like yams is good. And with Pepsi Cola and a bread. Yeah. And then I actually asked him what happened. Oh, because I don't have nothing to feed you guys. I'm like,
we have something. Yeah.
First and last.
What kind of yam you guys have? I know here they call sweet
The
potato
one that
yellow,
has
white,
purple or orange
and white. We have a lot white. The white yam. I saw that one time here. I'm surprised. You guys have that? Yeah, that's what we eat a lot back home too.
The white ones?
The white ones. We should actually sell in the street too with the spicy paprika you mix with oil and stuff.
Yeah. So that day we just eat yams. Actually.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder how many fathers out there feel the same way, like they're not providing, but like a child doesn't know.
Yeah, as long as they full.
Yeah, like you had something and you were grateful, but he wanted to provide you more.
But it's a lot how the fathers sacrifice, because they will go without a lot of times just to make sure that their kids kids have.
Oh yeah.
My father that way, and my husband also, because I remember times we was just barely making it, and our girls always wanted to go to McDonald's, and he would buy for them, and they would ask, "Dad, you don't want anything?" And he would say, "No, I'm good," because he had just enough to take care of them.
Oh yeah.
So now that, thank God, all of them are growing, and they just shower him. And I think that's how it was when us kids got older. Whatever my dad wanted, because we knew the struggle, we was trying to make sure he got it.
Yeah.
The first gift that I can remember that he loved was a CB radio. Yeah, it's like the radio, you could hear what was going on. And my girlfriend's friend Mark came over to the house and put it on the channel so he could hear everything that was going on in the neighborhood. That was the best gift that he ever had. That was just nosy though.
Yeah.
And then he was informative for the police department. We was like, wow, he's an informative. He's telling on people.
My mom
But it was just so
like
funny
that.
on that.
She had a police scanner, and it was funny. She'd be like, "Kids, get on your bike. Go down there to the corner, see what's going on." Sound like the police are heading that way. We get on our bikes and go down there. I'm so glad she don't got them now.
The question is, was your father more of the breadwinner or emotional support when he was around?
Mine was the emotional support. My mom wasn't emotional person at all. The only time her emotions changed was when she got mad. So she's either mom or mad mom. I think my dad was the one who listened. Even though he might not have provided any advice, it was just providing an ear for us. So I definitely think he was the emotional one, or the one, like, we didn't have a car. You know, I don't remember getting a car until I was a senior in high school. So we took the bus or we walked. I mean, my dad used to send his dog home in a cab. He'd call the house and let my mom know he's coming home.
In a cab.
In a cab, yeah. So I would say my dad most definitely.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't,
Same here. My mom is more the breadwinner, and my dad is the emotional one. I mean, okay, so he loves us so much because he's just doing that. But we actually turned out good. 11 children, you know.
Yeah.
He explained, I think when we were like probably older, high school maybe. Because I can still remember my last beat up from him was when I was 12.
Well,
I actually peed.
I was 13. And I was like, how old am I going to be before I stop getting spankings? When you get old enough to know, stop doing what you're doing.
Stop doing what you're doing.
That was it. But I don't know. I think it came both ways with me. Because my dad was hard in the beginning. But as we aged and we was able to talk, I learned a lot from him. In the beginning, he was like real hardcore on us making something of ourselves.
Yeah.
So, so I think both of them there was that support, but he was more of, I don't know, very direct. After he died, I used to always listen for this. That was the last thing I heard before I went to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So I think I got it from both as far as the emotional support. Now, he always was there when we played sports because he coached every sport. He was football, softball, every game. I can always remember my dad being out there. And I think I played harder for him than I did for the coach.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then when my girls came along and my son, he was there also for the grandkids with sports. And they listened at what Papa said versus what we said.
Yeah.
You know? He was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Fetihya?
Yeah, my dad was emotional. My mom, she doesn't really talk a lot, but my dad, it was he gathered people, like support and like mentor them, especially the young kids. And I think a lot of stuff looking back now, and I got his real character. And when even I see men, even though I went the opposite, I don't know how I got that. But I'm still looking like for something like my dad has, the quality in him. It was like, he will tell you exactly how things should be. Right way. It's not about me, it's about doing right. He used to tell us, even if you have to give your life, tell the truth.
Yeah.
Even if I do wrong and they tell me like, is your dad did that? Say, yes, he did it. He said, don't ever try to lie for no one.
And there were some things I don't think I like. Like we used to call our house the Father Murphy house because he didn't know anybody could stay with us.
Yeah.
And I used to say, Lord, if I ever get a house, I don't care. All these people not going to come stay with me, and I'm giving up my bed. That was one thing that me and my brothers, we talk about, was like, Lord, every time you turn around, some of his family member come and stay in. It seemed like he didn't never talk to my mother about it. He just brought, I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
And then we had one set of cousin come, and it seemed like I had a boyfriend that was at my boyfriend. I was like, I can't, When I get older, nobody stay with me. But that was like one thing that I could always say. And when I got older, I was like, why did you bring all those people to the house? It was only in like this little three bedroom, and one of my cousins was already with us. And he still laughed at that day. And then when he had a good friend that I swear he didn't ever bathe or something, but he would have the whole house smelling like oil. But everybody came to this house and they were comfortable and he was happy. But I still to this day, I'll give you a hotel room. I don't want you staying there.
You know, I'm glad you say that. Something that I never forget about my dad, what you just say. My dad, like I said, we only have one bedroom. So when we eat in our culture, we put food in one big plate. Everybody sit on the floor. You know that. We eat with our hand. So our house was on the street. Our door is always open. when we cook, my mom, she used to say, my mom, the other side, like she say, always cook more. You never know who's going to stop. Who's going to stop by. So my dad, when, like I said, crazy people, mental, they don't wear clothes. They just, they used to come to our house. You know what my dad used to say? He let them sit between us and let them eat.
Naked.
As well, in our cup, we used to say, Dad. He used to say, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know what they're carrying. They can be angel. No, really, that's my dad belief. Is that they can be angel. You never know what they can leave for you here. That is something that I never forget about my dad.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, think about it all. And it's funny now that we're all older because we talk about different stuff. My mother has 3 kids, and my daddy had 2 other girls. But my mother raised one of my dad's nephews like a son in the house, and we were all close because when one fought, we all fought. My daddy said a king child would never lose. And I had one of my brothers and cousins. Every time we go to the park, here they go, we got to fight. He did not care, so I grew up with my boys fighting.
My cousins.
Dang. I used to say, I'm not going because I know we're going to be a fight before. If we lose a game, it's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
So we had to win. But that's pretty much how he was with it. But my mother was very strong. She kept us together. But I think now looking back, I think my daddy was the one that was bringing everybody to the house and keeping them together.
Yeah. And it's funny, when we're all talking, it sounds like, most people would think the mother is the emotional, the loving, the doing stuff, and the father's the strict one. Where
it's
really
backwards.
But I know my dad definitely had traits that I look for in guys. So Johnny definitely mirrors characteristics from my dad. My son Michael, characteristics from my dad that he's never met before. So Johnny and Michael both. Michael stays home and takes care of the baby. So it's like I just love that because most people don't imagine guys can take care of a child, but they do. They do a really good job at that.
I think they judging by what is really going on right now, the society, and especially with men, the part that they play. But if you go back, men, yes, they are the foundation of the family. They really are, and just we have to find the balance. And I'm glad that we share that. And I'm like, when you guys talking about you guys' dad, I'm like, it's not so much different. It's not really different, regardless what culture, what color, and country. We have that. I think that that's what is in us as mankind. We share
and celebrate them. Celebrate them while they're living. If they're active in your life, celebrate them.
Between my dad and my mom, I love them both very much. But I have learned more from my dad. Me too. I learned more from him.
Especially as I got older, because I would ask him like direct questions. So why did you do that? And we had that relationship because we was older. Because growing up it's different. More of a distant. But as I got older, we became friends because in his household you was not grown until you were paying your own bills. So I tell my kids, you're not grown if you're living in my house.
Oh yeah.
You ain't grown until you get out, because that's what he told us growing up. So when he came over to my house trying to tell me what to do, I was like, this is my household now. That's how I was like, this is my household. I'm grown now. But we never disrespected him no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Or my mom, to this very day.
Yeah, there's always a story with my dad. Like, I'm going to tell you guys another story about him because this was funny. We lived across the street from the public swim pool. And, of course, I'm from Iowa, so it snows. So in the wintertime, ambitious me, climbed the fence and went up on the diving board and was going to jump in the snow on the bottom, not thinking what the consequence would be of that. So I jumped down. Anyway, I sunk all the way down and I was stuck. There was no way to get out. So my sister had to run across the street to get my dad to come fish me out the pool. And I mean, and he just joked and teased about it the whole time, where my mom was like, oh my God, what was you thinking? You know, this and that. So I was glad it was him that came to rescue me.
Because we always see the fear and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. But definitely it's been great reminiscing about our fathers. You know, I hope you guys did the same thing, thinking about those great times you've had with your father, or, you know, definitely the man in your life that raised you as a child and continues to mentor you now. I know next week we have another great show set up. Diana, you want to?
Is it Juneteenth?
Juneteenth.
So we'll be talking about Juneteenth. With LaQuisha Fulcher will be up here as our guest next week.
Yeah.
So tune into that on Juneteenth.
Yep, and if you guys don't know,
it's a holiday.
It's a holiday now.
Yeah,
Federal holiday now.
It's a holiday.
But for those of you that don't know what Juneteenth is, it's actually the date where Black Americans celebrated because it was the last slaves found out they were free.
Oh,
Yes. So we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
At Lamar Media Versatility, we aim to provide comprehensive solutions to our clients. We have a team of experienced professionals who can help you with every aspect of your media needs. From documentation and marketing to promotion and more, we provide our clients with top-notch quality services. We understand that each client is unique and has specific needs. That's why our team works closely with you to understand your company and event goals and objectives. We are committed to providing the highest quality services in media and strive to exceed our clients' expectations. Our team is passionate about helping you reach your goals and making sure you get the best experience and results. If you're looking for a reliable business to help you with all your media needs, look no further than Lamar Media Versatility. Contact us today to get started at 252-497-3817 or at www.lamar-photos.com.